really interesting because on some level, we all enjoy twerking till one sweats. Like we all enjoy being in the room where somebody's like making it clap.
Absolutely.
But then we also all pretty much get disgusted when we see like somebody go all the way there all the time.
Yes, very true.
So like it's a balance between, and it's a tough balance. That's why like, I'm glad we had this conversation because it's tough to say like, don't do that. Don't enjoy this part of your sexuality when it's enjoyable. But like, I guess the balance is what we're going for, and really don't define yourself by that. Unless you're Amber Rose. But what would we do without porn stars?
What would we do without strip clubs?
Let's focus.
Yeah,
we're not going to go off on this testosterone tangent tonight.
Right.
Okay, I'm
We're going to keep it together.
What
we're
we
going to
really
go
want
step
to
by
delve
step.
into on tonight's show is the current generation's idea of success, essentially, particularly our young women, and what they are idolizing and looking up to. And this is kind of a spin-off from last week's show and my whole weekend in Miami, in my hometown, and just really seeing how young women are operating and how they are at the nightclub and they are just waiting to get chose with this whole bottle popping, plastic surgeried out, groupie, I want a baller rapper, just buy me a drink mentality. And how do we engage and teach our young women that there's actually more to life than that? There's more to life than being the hot-bodied chick, being with the iced-out dude. How do we teach our young women that living like a reality star is not the
reality.
business?
Yeah,
I don't know if that's something that we can teach women that are doing it now. Like if we're not,
Well, we may not be able to teach them, but we can
yeah.
teach the younger.
But if we're not in schools, if we're not in girls, boys clubs, youth centers, like being examples of models that are consistent, it's just a conversation.
It's really unfortunate to me because I feel like a lot of times just on social media, like Facebook groups or friends or whomever, they complain so much about the youth, but then it's like, well, what do you do?
Right.
Like, okay, do you volunteer? I mean, because just think if every person spent 1 to 2 hours per week with a child over the course of several years.
Yeah.
Just one child other than your own. How much of an impact that would make nationwide?
And you're jumping ahead.
I am. I'm guilty of my own
But
laws.
not only is it being a mentor, but at the same time, like, why don't we talk about the household? Like, what are parents teaching?
Right.
What's the message that they're giving their kids?
Well, before we dive into that, though, let's talk about the current situation and just the whole idea of living like a reality star, because that's actually the real hotness right now.
Yeah,
like, how do I live this reality star lifestyle?
Yeah, it's kind. Well, I think social media is fucked the game up.
Yeah.
Instagram is a liar.
Yeah.
And it has everyone believing that if I get enough likes and that right dude likes me, like it's some regular ass whatevers you walk past every day. You go on Instagram, they on there talking about if you want to book me, hit me up on blah blah.
Yeah, it's ugly.
I mean, book you little young,
Yeah, and see, the whole thing about it, okay, who knows what the home environment's like, but then on some level, even if we're not in the home, like say if that person's down the street from us or whatever, we see somebody regularly, or even like now see, this is a double-edged sword, but I think there's also our responsibility. Like, all right, I like to catch the train sometimes, but then it's kids on the train acting up. But like today I was at the park, at the rec center, and like, it was just like the older kids, like they might be like 18, 17 or something like that. Like they're out of hand in the presence of younger kids because they feel like authority. But then, so I'm walking by and then they kind of like, look at me, they don't know me, but then I speak to them. And then it's like, oh, okay, that's cool. But then that automatically turns me into like a voice that they about to listen to just because they recognize that I'm part of the community and that in a sense to them, I'm their elder. So at that point, it opens the door for conversation. Not like I'm pressed to talk to them, but if something is, like if they decide to fight or if they decide to like do something, if I'm in their presence, it's my responsibility as the authority to calm all that nonsense down, or you know, to be present instead of to act like, oh, that's y'all over there. And I think a lot of the times people walk by off the hook situations, and you might tweet about it or something, and then not like be part of the solution right there.
Well, because they're afraid.
Well, fear has no place in this.
That's easier said than done, though. Because I mean, I know, like, for me, I take public transportation every day, and it makes my blood boil. And a couple times, I have a daughter who's in high school, so sometimes she leaves when I leave, and we ride together, and I have to tell her that this is not okay. For young boys to be sitting down and us standing up, this is not okay. But do you think I feel like I need to challenge a young man?
But see, it's not always a challenge, though. It's approach.
It can be. Most of the time, it is. Especially if he's sitting there banging his trap music, which I love, not judging, on his phone out loud for everybody to hear.
I'm in love with the Coco too, but
it's a lot that goes on. And honestly, not too long ago, a couple of days ago, actually, I was on a bus, and an older gentleman said something. He was probably in his mid to late 40s, early 50s, and he was like, "This doesn't make sense. You young guys need to get up. Y'all should know."
But
like,
even that is approach, though.
Yeah.
I mean, because if honestly, and I'm all about approach, you know that. If somebody's going to tap me on my shoulder and be like, "Oh, would you mind letting this young lady sit right there?" That is very different than, "Oh, shit, what's going on here?" Like, I mean, the world has changed. Like, nobody wants to be approached
That's
that
true.
way.
Yeah. I think what's, having worked with young people my entire professional career, like I think what's happened is adults get older, they get further removed from the desire to be courageous and bold.
Yeah.
Right. Farrakhan said something awesome the other day in an interview with the Breakfast Club, and he was and basically what he said is that older Black Americans have become cowards in stepping to addressing young people and nurturing them, and I agree. Like, I think we complain in silos, but no one really wants to do the groundwork to remold the train of thought that our young people are dealing with right now. And the reality is, our young people are lost and angry as hell.
Yeah.
And to expect,
everybody, it's not just young. Like, some people think they younger than they are, but they might be drifting in their 30s.
Y'all have
But
some friends that are lost.
But were you like this when you were their age? I mean, I think the real question is, like, what changed? Like, what I mean,
Crack.
what's a root? Okay.
No.
Well,
no,
adults.
crack.
Adults
I think
change.
there was crack when we were around.
Yes, everything.
There was crack when we were around.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, when I was on the bus, I took the bus to school. But I think my approach or the way that I act was very different.
The bus was off the chain when I was coming up
approached
there.
life was very different
But
from generation now.
the expectation was taught to you by someone at home, right? Or how you're supposed to
I
predict.
agree.
Our young people right now don't have that person at home.
Right.
A lot of people are raising
They
themselves.
have reality TV.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but so
That's
so
not gonna get 'em much.
so
Exactly, but that's the point. That's
so
what's leading them
right.
now.
So what I think is that, like, we're like, our young people have become involved in a microwave society where everything is right now, instant gratification. If I can't pull it up on my phone right now, if I can't see it right now, if I can't see success and results right now, then I don't want to do whatever the other shit is.
Yeah.
And reality TV has taught them a lie. Like, if I go smack my ass, clap my ass, or I go meet Joe that got a mean jump shot, I got a chance to be, on TV.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's a rack of nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing ass brides that are now celebrities and so-called
Yeah.
role models to somebody.
And so now that we have, all right, reality TV will go nowhere. It's here to stay.
Yeah, because it's garbage.
It
Cheap
is,
to
but
make.
you guys are watching it. I mean, people
I'm
are
watching you watch
watching
it.
You
I do
guys.
not watch
I don't like reality
No
TV.
more?
I refuse.
Ever. I never like reality TV.
You never liked Real Housewives or
Like
I hate-
the first
I can't-
season.
I
when
hate
it
all
was
that
the
shit.
first reality TV show ever, and then when this cattiness started and the breakdown of womanhood started, I did not support it any longer. And that's and that's really a major point. If you continue to support that kind of TV, you watch it around your children, you watch it around their friends, then who's saying anything's bad about that?
So what's the difference between that and listening to ratchet music around your friends or your kids or your family?
That's a good point, but I think seeing something and hearing something simultaneously is more to me, it's more influential.
Because you listen to ratchet music because of
And
the
I
beat
listened
and
to
the hook.
ratchet music when I was like 3 years old, but I remember none of it. But the TV I watched at 3 years old, I remember.
You remember none of
watched
that? You don't remember none of that?
remember all the
Luke?
music.
You remember that Luke you was listening to? Bet?
Luke wasn't around. I was talking more like soca music, like Lick
Oh,
Up
my
Minani.
Oh.
But
I
you
was
was,
talking about that.
but you was about
Minani
that. You was about that Luke though.
Not at 3. That was like 13.
Luke
Okay.
wasn't around when she was
I
3.
know.
No, but I'm saying, but 13 is impressionable with young
her.
people like.
But that's my point. Like, that wasn't that impressionable to me. I wasn't really listening to the words at that age. Like, I don't think that I really started listening to words and music until I was a grown person.
Well, we're gonna ponder on that as we go to break.
Pondy River.
We're gonna ponder River, and we'll be right back on the Asherado
Pause.
Show on WLVS.
We got our own cups.
Whether you're interested in buying or selling a home, there's no bigger decision than choosing the person who will represent you during the transaction. A qualified, experienced real estate professional makes all the difference by helping you navigate the many decisions that arise when buying, selling, or leasing a property. At RE/MAX Sky Real Estate, our agents have the experience, expertise, and drive to help you find that perfect property. RE/MAX Sky is here for you if you're purchasing your first home, searching for a luxury home, or looking for commercial space. As the first luxury RE/MAX collection office in the district, we offer specialized services to clientele focused on purchasing luxury real estate. We're dedicated to delivering outstanding service and results you can count on. Contact RE/MAX Sky today to get started, or visit us online at www.remax-skyre.com to learn more about how an experienced real estate professional can assist you. Serving Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. RE/MAX Sky. Outstanding agents, outstanding results.
We're back on the Asherado Show on listenvisionlive.com. Hit us up at 202-758-8607. Send us a text if you're being shy, and hashtag us at Asherado or hashtag Asherado. We're talking about raising queens. Don't twerk network.
Drop and give me 50. Drop and give me 50.
Wait.
Now I'm gonna tell you. Okay, you said music didn't affect you. Music totally changed my life. So I
At
guess
what age, though?
man, well, I mean, it influenced me since, like, as far as I can remember.
Can I say
As-
something
like
on
a-
that too?
Yeah.
Just add to what you're saying, just because of what I see on a daily basis as a teacher, and I honestly think it's probably a conflict within myself, because I'm not gonna lie, I like my ratchet music. I listen to my ratchet music. I'm not gonna ever say that is never appropriate in any place, because that's not me. But to sit there and listen to 11-year-olds, like, oh, can I listen to music while I do my? I'm like, okay, fine. Oh, I wanna this motherfucker. I wanna, like all these things. It's like, it's, to me, it's so subconscious.
It is.
Because it's like they're listening to things, and and every child that I am dealing with on a daily basis is not coming from a broken home. They're not coming from a home where their parents aren't involved.
Their affirmations,
And I
like-
don't know, my own children when I'm not around, they probably do the same thing. It's like I used to watch Rap City when I wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to. But then what I see as a teacher is the girls now want to wear red lipstick. You're in the 6th grade. You're 11 years old. Why are you wearing red lipstick? And I pulled them and asked them, like, oh, because it's cute. Well, who told you it was cute? Would your mother like for you to do that? Would she be okay with that? Well, no. Well, then why are you doing that? And it comes from somewhere, and I feel like music is the easiest access with this day and time.
Well, I think everything has to be balanced, and that's the responsibility of the adults that manage those
Right.
young people.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you know, there is a place for it, but
Yeah.
that can't be its all. Like, it can't be all that you allow your kids to absorb.
Right.
And that's the responsibility of the adults. But adults, you know, we fucking suck.
Can't be there 24 hours a day.
Well, no, but
And if you don't have teachers at
Well,
school that are going to be
no.
like, hey, listen, what's
no,
up?
But I'm with you. You're right. Like, you know, we're all sitting right here. Our
Yeah.
parents weren't with us
Right.
24 hours a day,
And see-
we
But-
still did dumb shit. But there was a piece of us that knew
Right.
that mama taught me this, and I'm not going.
But I feel like, I didn't grow up with the me mentality. I grew up with the we mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my parents came from Ethiopia. They brought me here to do X, Y, and Z. So that was always on my mind. So whenever I did some shit that my parents probably never agreed to, but I always said, okay, you know what? There's a limit for that. So I feel like we need to teach our kids it's not about me. It's about, the community. It's about
Yeah.
the family. Like, you represent the family when you're doing some shit that your parents probably are not watching you do, but they're gonna find out sooner or later, or it's gonna affect you later on in life.
Yeah, and see that comes from a place of learning way more about yourself culturally to say we, because
Yeah, that's not an American. We is not
America
American.
is born alone,
me.
die alone.
Me
Ain't no,
is American.
Ain't no bunk beds in the casket. I do this life how I want to, and it is what it is. And so, like, culturally, we really have to learn more. So we got to plant these seeds. And matter of fact, this year's the 20th anniversary of the Million Man March, and it's called Justice or Else.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And
it's
so-
gonna be bad.
Everybody
It's gonna be bad.
should listen to Minister Farrakhan because he is the man.
Well,
And he
what-
gives you a
wait.
cultural basis for stuff. Like I think for the black community at least, like he's good for America, but I think for the black community specifically, actually for minorities, and actually for, I mean, he's just the man. He just says it how it is. And I think like there's nobody else galvanizing people in truth like he tends to do, but media kind of blocked him out of everything. And so I like to bounce, like with my son, I'm thinking if music is ambient, then so is whatever. So I'll have some Farrakhan in the car on the way to school
yeah.
or whatever. But then I'll let him rock his playlist every now and then. But it needs to be some time where like if we're pouring it on with "I'm in Love with the Coco,"
Need
then
some
we need
Gil
to,
Scott Heron in
yeah,
there,
we got to
some
pour it
last
on
black poets.
like in a whole different.
So what
way,
are some of
too.
the other ways that
Well,
they're
I want to touch
influenced
on
to-
where do our children, and specifically since we're focused on girls tonight, where do they learn to set their goals? I know that we said parental figures, of course, is one place, but then mentors and we have two teachers in the social worker teachers in the room tonight as well. So it's not just the parents, it's the mentorship, and for people who don't have children, you can be a mentor. You don't have to be a parent to be a mentor. And for teachers, you're spending most of the time 8 hours a day with these
Yeah,
kids.
I think it requires a village to raise a young person. I still believe in the African proverb, like it even today, even in selfish America.
Yeah.
I mean, growing up, I didn't grow up with my father, didn't know him, but there was male figures that had no relation to me, blood,
Right.
that were invested in my life and they planted a lot of seeds in me. And so my idea of manhood was created through them. Like certain things they did, I want to do that. I want to be him, as a young person. And so I think that's where we learn, our football coach, that teacher that spent that extra time with me when I couldn't figure out this math problem. That one that brought a tie when I didn't know how to tie a tie.
Right.
And show me how to tie a tie.
And then, another thing that happens is, okay, us being adults thinking like we are on this other level. Like I said earlier, like on the train or on the street, we'll let like a lot of stuff go, a lot of people pass. Why don't we speak to people? Like, you see somebody just speak, acknowledge their presence. They probably feel valueless and invisible in a way. So they're doing all this stuff to be visible. And if you just acknowledge their presence sometimes for no particular reason, just because they're present, like that's something that
I agree.
we can certainly
I think
do.
that people are afraid to do that these
Well,
days.
scared men can't win.
Well, I think that a couple other things to consider when you're talking about, the youth of today, besides the media, besides parental involvement or lack thereof, or even positive involvement, you have to think about the statistics as far as like sexual assault when it comes to women, body image. We talked about that last week a little bit, and not even just that, but also the mindset of the young men who are influencing the young women. Because, for example, the way that, from what I've heard and what I've seen, young men like holler or try to get a number from a girl nowadays is completely different than even when I was a teenager. I don't
Well,
want to
it's
date myself.
always going to be different. I mean, our parents said that about us. We're going to say that about the next generation. It's going to continue on. It's
Well,
gonna
yeah, but I think the
replicate.
expectation has changed as far as young ladies overall. So it's okay for like a young man to have certain expectations from her that she doesn't enforce. Like, for example, for me, I didn't have, like, I had a good childhood. I have great parents. You know, they made their own mistakes. But one thing I know that I'm not okay with is, like, teaching a man how to be chivalrous and certain things like that. Like, I shouldn't have to tell you to walk on the inside of the street.
But how many of our boys are growing up with dads that teach them?
That's what I'm saying. So I think it doesn't have to. It shouldn't just be even how women feel about themselves. It's not just about how we're teaching them. It's how we're teaching our men too, our young men too, because that influences them. And I think that a lot of boys have a false sense of reality as how a woman is supposed to look and act. Like,
well, and that goes into the next point about TV and social media. I mean, if that's the influential base that our young men and young women are looking at, and they're inundated with videos and the rappers and just trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. I mean, what if we're not teaching them different at home, if we're not teaching them different in the schools or through mentorship, then this is what they have. This is their base.
But you know what? Another thing. Oh, did you want to say something?
No, go ahead.
All right. This is not limited to hip hop, and this is not limited to young people.
No, this shit is.
Because, okay, I was talking to a friend of mine. She said,
but we can save the young people. I don't know if we can save the 40-year-old people. So for the sake of the show, we're trying to save them hoes.
Oh, what about a 25-year-old that's still bouncing
at the Griffin?
oh well,
Maybe.
I'm saying.
oh well, you're lost. Goodbye. Get yourself together. I mean,
But I'm saying, like, people are still,
but
like, you
there
know.
might be a phase for a 25-year-old. Like, to me, a 25-year-old is not even comparable to a 17, 18, or to even 21-year-old.
Or a 13-year-old.
Yeah, I was thinking 13.
I think really we need to talk about how do you get more people who are not, and so that are not in reality TV more visible. Like, there are doctors, lawyers. There are, like, people who are doing stuff that.
And those doctors and lawyers, they have to interact.
They're not sharing enough, though, which is the next point about being a mentor. They're not sharing of themselves enough with those kids that need their help.
I'm in it, I fall into that blame. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I think for me is I want to be a mentor. I want to do all these things because I feel like I need to give back. But the other thing is, like, I'm trying to balance trying to work 80 hours or 70 hours with addition to volunteering. So I do agree that if we are not out there showing that you could be successful, you could do other than be a reality TV star, then you could be successful doing other avenues. Like, there are other solutions.
Can I put up a challenge?
But
what?
Yeah, but before you do that, so I think kids know that there's successful black people out there and that there's avenues of success, but what that looks like that journey. That shit is too long.
Yeah, like to a lot of people, the Cosby Show wasn't real.
My shit right now.
All right,
and that's the thing we have to fix.
I have to say, like, honestly, Blue Magic, I hear you on that, but I think there's a lot of kids who don't know that because I think about when I first started teaching, and I was told that because I was told by kids in my class, and I asked this more than once. Because there was a series of robberies in the school I was teaching at the time. I was like, what's going on? Like, am I about to get robbed? Nah, Miss Brown, you're good. You know why? Because you don't have any money. Because you're black. Because black people don't have any money. They don't do anything. Yeah. And the only thing that black people do is teach or nurse. And I said, is this 19?
That was crazy.
This was in Virginia, right?
No, this is in D.C. at Cardozo Senior High School.
Yeah, but that's like one kid. So
no, that was multiple kids.
How many cities in America where a good, I'm going to say half, and I'm guessing right now, maybe 60% of the police force is African American? How many cities in America do you have black fire department people? How many cities in America are there black lawyers? How many?
So they have a lot of examples of black professionals.
I'm just saying, like, this city, like, there's no reason for you to not believe that there's.
Yeah, in this city, Blue Magic, but people don't all live in this city.
Right, but I'm speaking particularly to this city right now. So because we work in this city and we're planted in here, like, the avenues to success, to say that I haven't seen anything that looks like me successful is a lie. I
don't agree with you. I think you would be very
perception.
surprised even in the mentorship roles that I've served in, some people haven't even left the quadrants that they've lived in to even see a level of success that you are speaking of that may happen in Northwest.
Yeah, I do agree.
I definitely agree.
I agree. I've worked
Blue
with
Magic. Think about kids who wouldn't even go from Northwest to go to Choice.
Well, I know
because
kids
they
that
didn't
do
wanna
that
do that.
currently now, but to say that I don't know what success looks like, I don't know what success looks like in my family. Like, I haven't had an example of someone to teach me that's close to me to what success looks like.
So where do you get it from?
No, their base of success looks like reality TV and all the other.
Well, that's because that is instant gratification. Like,
okay, but it still is what it is. That is what they are basing success on.
But they do see Muriel Bowser.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So,
And
but
they saw-
to say that they don't see it,
Do they see her? Because can they relate to her? But because
can you relate to the booty clapping? If you're a dude, can you relate to the booty clapping chick? That
if I'm
has,
a dude, can I
2,000
relate?
likes?
Yes, I can relate to it because I want booty. If I'm a dude, like yes, I
But
can
how,
relate
but
to
how
that.
does that?
But you're not a dude.
But
I'm not a
how
dude.
does that
Can't
show
relate.
you success?
Why would I look at her as a success?
But that's
as a
what I'm
dude,
saying, like-
as a dude, I'm not looking at her as a success.
Like, there is no successful dope dealers no more.
You're right, but that doesn't mean that because of everything I've heard about the dope dealers of the yesterday and my family and everything else, that changed my perception of whether it's dope dealers that are successful. It doesn't change that because if I don't have anybody tell me something different, if that dope dealer, whoever
This
was
is
my
2015.
family, everybody had.
It's not the 80s and it's not the 90s when we were growing
Yes, we
up.
know that, and everybody in their
But you
family
know,
today in
they're
2015
three
still
generations
have,
removed from that.
they still have somebody in their family that was hustling with Rayful,
That's
who is
dead.
still idolized, and who is still
That has no
idolized,
money,
and who
and
is
is
still
not hustling
idolized,
anymore.
and is still idolized in their family as being,
all right.
when he was here,
I want you to do
he
it
was
to
that
us.
nigga,
But you-
just
but
like
you-
in DC.
but you know what it is?
I want you to do it to
All
us.
the sports, even in DC.
Popularity,
Even in DC now.
popularity
When
is
you look at
overrated.
sports,
No
it's the
kids
same
know
thing.
Rayful Edmonds anymore.
But you had a challenge.
Oh, the challenge.
Yeah, let's get back to the challenge.
This is the challenge. For all people who are over 25, acknowledge at least 2 people who are under 21 every day, personally, look in their eyes and tell them some good shit. Briefly.
Okay.
It's easy for you because you're a teacher, but I'm talking about people who
yeah.
aren't on your roll call
Who are
joint.
interacting on a daily
Well,
basis.
the people are looking for an opportunity to volunteer and work with young people. I have a free football camp.
We did have a
Okay.
text message from
Okay.
the 2 viewers saying they'd like a better view of the T-shirt. So if you guys can kind of show
That-
off your T-shirt.
that-
Oakland.
That was really for Sherrado because they
no,
want
that
to.
wasn't for me.
Yeah, that was for her.
They want to see your boobies. I'd have texted it
and
too.
then-
Yeah,
and
I need
then
a
you know
better
what?
view of the
Kudos to
shirt.
Whoever that's
It's
sent
also
that in.
game 3. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors!
West Side,
Yeah.
go Lakers, but the Lakers ain't in. But I'll,
Yeah.
we'll-
Okay.
I did grow up in LA,
Hey,
so I'm gonna.
I'll rep.
We're Cali deep tonight.
That's what it
Free
is.
Cali. So we're gonna take a short break right here on the Ash Dorado Show.
Yeah, and I would like any kid that's under 22 to text me and tell me who Rayful Edmonds is, because I'm sure you don't know.
I'm sure they do.
We'll be right back on
Or text us.
WLVS, listenvisionlive.com.
A young brown-skinned goddess made money a god. Where my sister's at? Where my sister? She believed this radio TV media is really what's up. Where my sister's at? Man, it tricked her. She was just a sheep amongst wolves until they offered a job. Where my sister at? Where my sister? Lingerie, weed and weaves. The streets embraced her with open arms. Where my sister at? Man, she's a stripper. So appealing. Feeling. I love this one.
You know I like you, right? No, really I do. Silly me almost said I do in the strip club valet line. How'd they find? Just my height, size, and flavor. Ice in the cup, pennies on her ankles from the ceiling she dangles. She make the player haters pay to hate. Tricking like a magician. This vixen got him in submission. They forking up coins and she gotta pay tuition. It all started giving the teacher an apple, getting him smiles. Converting inches to miles. I keep a bad red bone on speed dial. I'm climbing like homie. Dude, girl all on me. She said her boyfriend is phony and his money is bony. She do it all for the money, all for the money, all for the money. Even if she Senorita Diaspora Mama. I offer no drama. Matter of fact, just bought some flowers for your mama. Herbs for you. Hors d'oeuvres for two. Moreover, I'm respecting the game. And you are too. Bar method insanity. Your body's insane. I got an addiction to you. Damn near wanna change your last name. I say the funky rhymes that make the girls undress. Nigga ran up on me. Now the population's one less. I wanted to take my new boo to Nobu. She acted up too fast though. Turned out to be an asshole. I love how you do it for the cash flow. Businesswoman of the year. I shed a tear if you bounce. You bout that calculator. And that shit counts. You do it.
All for the money. All for the money. She was all for the money. She was sitting for me, Jack. She was all for the money. All for the money. All for the money, baby. She was all for the money. All for the money. All she was being on. She was all about the money. All about the money. All for the money,
I spit the
baby.
gospel when possible to bitches and bitches. Bitch niggas, I'm seldom on the scene. But when I am, I'm saying something softly in the ear of Mary Magdalene. At the bar with the elbow lean. I start spitting hella game like Barack Hussein. That nigga's broad is a hot piece of ass. I put my dick in a kisser. She likes a cat with cash. Instagram goddess boo boo, I can't hate your hustle.
But it was all for the money. All for the money. All for the money. Even if she didn't go. She was all for the money. All for the money. Get it and she get gone. She was all for the money. All for the money. Get it and she get gone. It was all for the money. All for the money. Get it and she get gone.
We're back on the Asherado Show right here on listenvisionlive.com. Hit us up on social media at Asherado, hashtag us at Asherado, or call and text us 202-758-8607. Grindstone is going to share his thoughts on his
All
video.
for the while she's all for the money.
All for the money.
As
Wait,
we're
wait,
talking
wait,
about
wait,
raising
yeah, yeah.
queens
Yeah,
and not twerking.
right. Okay, so
Go ahead.
now that the inspiration for that song and that video, it was a couple inspirations because I live in a couple different worlds. Okay, so one, my seamstress makes a lot of these clothes that a lot of the strippers wear. So when I'm there, it's a lot of daytime. There's a lot of strippers during the daytime, and I see like the human part of them, and it's a trip. Like even I used to be a teacher. Some of the students I used to teach are strippers now, and so like to be there and just see them like during the day, it's different. And so I see like one side of that, and then I also see
They smell different during the day.
they just different. It's just different. You see the human side, you know. And then my sister's a stripper. Right? So my sister's a stripper, right? So, but I mean, it's in a rebellious way that's kind of fucked up, right? That she's a stripper. But the thing about it is that I can't stop her being who she is. And even though I would always give her money for school clothes and all that, like I'm not there. So she's in the wilderness, and that's how it has to
But
be.
she's doing her though. Like
She's doing her, and hopefully she makes it out of the trap alive, you know. But like,
But you were talking about the duality.
yeah, so
of
the duality of it,
video.
one, like, so that video, if you listen to the beginning, like, part of it is like a young brown-skinned goddess made money or God. Like, it's not celebrating what's going on in twerking, it's being observant of what's happening. And just talking about how it tricked her. But then the other, like the meat of the video is how I'm also part of it and I enjoy it. And not her particular situation, but I'm looking at somebody else's sister give it
or
up.
mama.
And so like we support it, but then at the same time, it's probably 1 degree of separation between the strippers while we're in the strip club. Like that's somebody's friend, sister, mom, daughter that we know.
To speak to that, I think that's
Yeah.
that's the battle we live as human beings in this world.
Yeah.
Like, so we're sitting here having a conversation about what we don't think young people should do, young
Yeah.
girls should do, but we indulge in some of these activities
Totally.
that we
We totally support it.
that we
Well,
think
same
we
thing
should
with the
change.
music and the media.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but-
our parents did, and our grandparents.
Well, I mean,
did the
that's what I'm
same
saying.
thing.
I think it's the universal-
It's what they're actually exposed to us indulging in, and I think that that's a big part of being a mentor and a parental figure. At a certain age, that's okay.
Right.
It's okay for you to know what your parents indulge in, what your grandparents indulge in, but as a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, as an underage individual, it's not okay for them to know that you may support booty clapping or whatever that
Sherrod,
is.
I think that's important because I think at the end of the day, there's a level of, even then in our former generations, it was like a level of taboo where it was like, oh, hush, hush. Okay, you do your thing, you go to strip club, but is that like, oh, it's
gonna
like,
announce it.
it's immediate, like it's like, I don't knock anybody who's gay or bisexual or anything like that, but now, we with the young girls, it's like, it's almost expected that they go both ways.
And a lot of it's a cry for attention because they're not getting enough attention.
Or
They're not
they've
getting
been
recognized
sexually
enough.
assaulted, which is even more apparent. Doesn't mean it's happening more, but it's definitely out there more as far as statistics are concerned. But like, there's so many other things where like there's a level of expectation from girls as to what you do and what you don't do. Oh, you don't want to do girls? You 15, 16-year-old, you don't do girls?
But that, Urbanista, that goes back to the home as well, because anybody could have told me that at a certain age, but I was grounded in how I was raised, and if you're not grounded and
truth.
supported,
That's where it goes
in
back to
how
crack.
Right,
You
it's
were raised,
grounded in truth.
Then you will be
Crack.
easily led. You
Yeah,
will be.
but
Look.
even then, there were people who didn't have strong households. But overall, as a general idea, like for the whole United States, it wasn't accepted widely. So now, like so many things
That
are
might
so
be
much
part
more
of it.
accepted. Widely
All right, look at it
that
like this.
Whether you have a strong foundation or not, it's just so much more accepted. That's the only point I'm making.
But wait,
Like,
look at the Holocaust that happened, right? So crack got introduced to the streets in like
We're back to
'83,
crack. We're
but
back
we
to
can't
crack.
avoid it. It was a Holocaust.
quiz that.
It removed men from the home.
You have
and it-
30 seconds on the crack.
Okay, look, it hit the streets in
Less than
'83.
It's real shit, though.
Yeah,
That's
look,
real
so
shit.
it hit the streets in '83, right? So whoever had a baby between '83 and let's say '94, it was a
That's a
certain
lot
it
of
was a certain
babies.
percentage, a heavy percentage of people who were crack funded or crack induced when they had their baby. So then if you say how old is somebody who was born in '83, how old is somebody who was born in '96?
83
They the
would
ones
make
out
them
here like
32.
doing what they doing. Like, and we're like,
Okay, well why don't we focus on how these
But I'm
young
saying
women
that's a broken home.
sin-
Like for me, like I feel like I'm 35, and if I ever did like right now, I feel like I'm good. But if I'm at a strip club and I'm doing some shit that my mom would not appreciate, she will come down with my brother. She would come down with ever and make sure that I'm not doing that shit.
That's because she didn't have to
like,
put the.
I'm 35.
But she didn't have the challenge of choosing between you and a pipe.
Wow.
I'm saying.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, like you, as a parent, like you need to take
It's
responsibility
so much
for your
more than
kids.
that, though. I just feel like it's so much more than just the crack epidemic.
Well,
What
since
else
we
is
only
it?
have 10 more minutes, I'd
Okay.
like to focus on how these young women can be independent, self-accomplished young women. So how do they do that?
Be like Nanny Helen Burroughs.
You can't just be like, they don't even know
Well,
who that is.
the first thing they need to do is focus.
Yeah.
And they need to get an education, whatever that looks like.
What does that mean?
Whatever that looks
That
like,
can be
that
what it-
could be, I'm getting there. That could be college.
gonna
That
ask
could
Sherrod.
be trade. Whatever you're good at, okay? Learn to be the best at whatever it is.
That's where booty clapping comes in. But so how do we
No,
lead
We're
that?
not talking about booty clapping, Grindstone. We're talking about being the best within something that's getting you to a greater level. Booty clapping is not getting you to a greater level.
But how do you influence somebody that when people throw money at them?
For how long?
that's
Like
too
they
late.
probably
That's
do
a
that for
temporary-
the next like
If you're
5
bringing that, it's
years.
too
What
late.
happens after
So is there
5
something wrong with
years?
booty
That's-
clapping?
That's temporary, but how do we get them before they get to loving booty clapping?
We have
How
to-
do we influence them? How do we get them
You have to start off with a strong foundation.
to tune in into a niche market that they want to make an impact on?
They
How
need
do
to
we do
understand
that?
the difference between the two.
We need to open the
They
conversation.
need to be open to the conversation between the difference between the two. Like, okay, yes, you can do this if you want to when you're grown and you're like independent.
Yeah.
Like, this is what I want to do. But the fundamental is this. For me personally, I heard a couple things about trades and different things. I feel like a lot of kids are cut short because they're already told like you have an option there is no option personally in my household. You're going to college.
But that's not that option doesn't
I
work
don't
for
agree with
everybody.
that.
It doesn't work for everybody. I'm saying it doesn't.
That's destroying our public schools.
I don't think it has to work for everybody. But I think a lot of people are cut short because they're told like, oh well, you do this, do that.
They're not
that's
told
cool.
shit. That's the problem.
No, they are told shit, and then they don't apply themselves to that because they think that they cannot go to college.
They're not equipped with the skills to make it in college.
You know, some of the most successful people I know never went to college. They never even saw a college campus. So I don't agree. And even though I went to college and I totally value
that's
the
not the way.
experience-
That's not the only route to the finish line.
I think you need to have options. Like I feel like
You
it's
do.
important to get like most. You know, even if you have a college degree, it's hard to get a job.
You have to know how to hustle
that's
first.
reality. So now, I feel like people not only need to look at college, but they need to look at grad school. And after that, if you want to like go to do your own thing, whatever you want to do, you can do that.
All right, so look, grad school is grad school is highly evolved. All right, let me use my sister for an example.
Okay.
Right now, my sister's mom is no good. Right, she's no good. So after my dad passed away, it was basically my older sister trying to like look after my younger sister, but my younger sister was like dependent on her mom. So her mom like moved further away from the school. So every morning my sister had to get up at like 5 a.m., catch a bus to school. Now she was a straight A student, right? But then senior year, it all fell apart. How you gonna tell her about grad school when she could go to the spot
and make some quick money
and make $2,000 a night? How you gonna tell her anything about
because
anything?
that's not long lasting. Like that.
How you gonna
have
say
to
that,
be able,
though?
But what I'm saying to you is like
She
you
have a
need to be able
401k
to.
plan?
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
like,
how
you
can
need
you
to be
explain
able to
that?
market yourself? Like later on, like 10 years from now, like 20 years from now, you need to be able to.
I'm
market
not knocking
yourself
the strippers.
to-
Like I have strippers that are
No, I
I'm
get it,
really
but
close to
how?
my
But some,
family
but how do you even
members.
have that
Right.
conversation?
But some people don't have that foresight because that's not the reality of their life. Their reality of life is right now,
Yeah.
and how the fuck I'm gonna get from
and you
today
supply
to
them
tomorrow.
with that, and so then you help them with creating that plan.
Yeah, but-
I mean, I have family members who are strippers, and like
that
it's
shit
all
all
the same
sound- that
thing.
shit all
But
sounds
at the end of the day, it
good. It
runs.
sounds hella
It's
But-
real reality
yeah,
for
but-
me.
but-
It doesn't sound
but-
good.
but you have to start somewhere.
No, you do, but
You have to.
but yeah, you do, but you still have to sit and wait till that person is ready to receive the
Agreed.
information that you gave them. Like
This is
you
true.
can't say that this is how I did it, so this is how
Right.
you need to do it, because
No.
that shit doesn't
See-
work.
well, that's
Like-
but that goes back to approach.
Right.
All right, so look,
But
so
you give them
everybody's
a
gonna
you give them a
receive
plan,
information that
and
way.
you give them a plan, and you support them through that plan. But listen, if I want to go clap my ass because right now this is what paying my bills and letting me drive this, this fancy car, and wear these shoes and purse that
Right.
someone else can't wear, then I need to do that until I understand that there's no longevity in this. This is only allowing me to live from
Yeah,
day
and
to
so-
day.
So how does that change when that's your family member or that's your daughter?
It's the same thing. Like, I don't want my daughter to be on no pole. Like, that's my mission in life. But if my daughter decides to do that shit after everything that I hope to instill in her, then I have to live with that and then continue to be a parent and teacher. Like, there's a better way. Like, I can't make anyone, even in all the therapy that I've done with all the people that I've done, like, I can't force them to do what I think that is right.
But it's about like decisions and options. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like if you are able to see different options in your life, meaning like, you know what, you see, reality
Right.
TV and you see how successful they are. You see strippers, you know that they're making money.
Right.
But then you need to be able to see other avenues where people are successful.
And so this is-
you choose for yourself. Like you choose for yourself, like, hey, you know what? Like 20 years from now, which is a better option for me? So at the end of the day, yes, you can give them all the tools you can, but that person has to make a decision for themselves.
Right. So this is what happens. Family members, especially older family members of an individual, become the same old blah, blah, blah voice. And then when we're saying you need to see options and you need to see different people, then those are like different people for real. So like say if I'm telling my sister like, hey, look, for real, and we cool, but like I'm still like a authoritative kind of voice because I was buying her school clothes, right? So I'm still like coming from a certain level. If you saw her one day and didn't know her and started a conversation with her, she might be like, damn.
Well,
that's
but then it's your job to observe that and make sure that Nadia is somehow in front of her making that impact.
No, so
on
that
her
goes back
life,
to my
though.
challenge. My challenge is open the conversation to people who you don't know.
So I'm gonna make myself available. Like honestly,
accepting the challenge.
I'm accepting the challenge. But not only am I accepting the challenge, but I'm saying that anybody that's watching that wants to talk to me, the journey that I've gone through, it might not be the same thing, but I'm making myself available. You know what I'm saying? I did what I needed to do.
Instead of rolling your window up, roll your window down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay with that.
I'm making myself
okay.
available to
I'm
all the
making
28,
myself available.
30-year-old strippers.
Because you can be successful without doing other things that you're passionate about.
We have 3 minutes to touch on my last point and tonight, because in all of this, in twerking, don't twerk and network, a lot of these young women out there are actually striving to look for a man, and a successful man to them looks very different than a successful man to maybe the women in this room looks like. And
that's
I think
that struggle.
It's important to highlight that success is not defined by your finances, but it's an array of things, and to everyone it may be a different thing. I mean, to me it's mind, body, soul, and finances, but finances do come in there. I mean, let's be real.
Skills,
I want a partner.
Huh?
I want
Sorry
a partner.
about it.
Yeah, you
Like,
want a
I
partner.
want a partner for
And in that journey to find somebody, if you're looking for a man who is financially secure, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody is looking down on you for wanting that, for wanting him to share what he has with you, but there's also nothing wrong with you wanting to get yours and have your own financial independence as well.
And there's no reason for a woman to hook up with a man just to get a closet full of purses that were made in China. It doesn't make any sense.
They're made in Italy.
Or
not the Louis purses.
I'm just
I'm just made in China.
So you said there's nothing wrong with it?
I'm saying there's no need for a woman to do everything for
I
that.
totally agree.
Let me get through the last few points. So,
Jesus.
in addition to that, someone, you're looking for someone who actually takes care of themselves health-wise, because you want them to be around for an extended period of time.
So that makes bottle popping like a negative, like uh-oh.
Well, bottle pop occasionally.
This other dude got years on you because
Quinoa and vodka. And of course the mind, because you want somebody who takes the time to work on themselves, and they want to grow as an individual and learn about you. And why wouldn't you want to be with somebody who is mind focused and about the growth?
So ladies need to be with a dude who doesn't mind taking a long walk with them.
Around the park.
Sure,
That makes you happy.
After dark.
And being intuitive and thinking through things. And then lastly, of course, the soul, because we know a spiritual person tends to be grounded and good. Whatever religion you are, when you are spiritual of sorts, you want to be a better person and share the positives in your life with others. And
so you telling women what to look for?
I am. I'm
so
telling
tell them
you
the red
my
flags.
Body, soul, and finances for myself.
What are the red flags?
In terms of what? Bottle popping, icy
I'm just saying.
Red flag.
No, I'm just saying, when a woman who is listening to this show,
my point for the evening is to strive for a well-rounded man.
Okay. What are red flags?
A man, I'm not focused on red flags because I have 1 minute. So I'm focused on a well-rounded man who is not necessarily the baller, the iced out dude, or any of that. But if you want security, if you want all of that, look for somebody who's not just providing financial security, but consistency and overall well-rounded person who will help you be a better person.
And don't be defined by a man, because if you're defined by a man, that man could take your definition away at any point.
Yeah, and then you become a punk bitch.
Drop the mic, and now we need to end the Asherata.
But don't be all rigid,
Boom. Let's face it.
So we're signing off tonight. Thank you so much, Nadia, for joining us. And how can they find you again?
Madeintee.com. MADEINTEE.com.
Thank you so much. I'm signing off tonight with my co-host, Grindstone.
Go Warriors.
Our producer, The Urbanista.
Stay fabulous.
Our DJ, Blue Magic.
I was made in a bucket.
Right here next week, Tuesdays, 8 to 9 p.m. on WLVS, listenvisionlive.com.
Your state or your country. Woo woo, made it.
I need a lap dance. It's raining ass and titties. Yeah, ass and titties. If you ain't throwing money, mind your fucking business. Floss like the dentist. Dentist the menace. Run with crazy niggas. Probably get a life sentence. Sharper than a